Perfection by Sloan Ferron. So the idea of a utopian society and a perfect society has always perplexed me to this day. It's always something that I think about. Is it possible? Where does ethics come in? I first thought about a book that I read in middle school, I think it was, called The Barcode Tattoo by Suzanne Wayne. It was the first book in a trilogy, and I read all three, and they were fantastic, and it focuses on the future, where everyone is getting a barcode tattoo when they turn 17, and this tattoo basically has all of your information and can be reviewed by anyone. Use it to buy things, use it to go to the dentist, everything. And so what the government was trying to do by creating a perfect society was weed out anyone who had an unfavorable medical history or an extremely low income, or just someone who wouldn't fit in. And when I thought about this, there was a lot of issues that arise, like government control, trying to create a utopia in class levels. But the one that I really wanted to focus on was the possibility of creating perfection. Then I came up with a knowledge question, utilizing ways of knowing, is it possible to achieve perfection in any area of knowledge? Then I thought there had to be a few questions like, what is your definition of perfection? What areas of knowledge would I use, and what ways of knowing would I use? So first is my definition of perfection, is when there is no present flaws in any idea, being, item, etc. An example used in a sentence is, after I washed the dish, it was perfectly clean. So then I thought of what areas of knowing could I express the contradictory idea of perfection, and so I chose the arts and ethics. The arts is a way of using your knowledge in a creative manner to express your perspective or opinion. And you do this through your emotion. Emotion is a feeling that is private and subjective to every person. So it is possible to achieve perfection because perfection is based on what you want to achieve in art, not a standard you're supposed to achieve. The second was ethics. Ethics being a principle of rights versus wrong, morals or values that determines an individual's or group's behavior. And the key word is behavior, because our behavior affects other people we're around. And we mix ethics in with reason being understanding explanations, forming conclusions, and using logic. And we use this reason and we use our ethics to perform actions that affect other people, and almost every action we make will affect someone else. So it's very difficult to have perfect ethics considering how different one person is from another due to certain experience they've had, etc. So in conclusion, I came to the fact that it is possible to achieve perfection in the arts because when art is made, standards of perfection are specific to the artist. Reading the definition of perfection and what art was made me realize that if I write a poem and I think it's exactly how it should be portraying my emotion and self-expression, then it is perfect, and no one can argue with that. Whether or not perfection is achieved is up to the artist, so it's as easy as saying, I like what I did, it's perfect, just the way I wanted it. So achieving perfection in art is very possible. If it is what the artist wants, then it is perfect. But then again, on the other side, I came to the conclusion that it is not possible to achieve perfection in ethics because the ethics of one person will always counteract with the ethics of another. If ethics influences an individual's group or behavior, I realize that it's not going to be perfect if myself and a friend do not agree on topics like marriage equality and pro-life choices. Whether I want to go down one street or the other, because one street is shorter and one street is a longer way. Growing up and meeting different people, listening to the news, and experiencing different things, I have come to the conclusion that there will always be right and wrong. As long as the reason of someone's actions being right or being wrong, perfection in ethics will never be achievable.